I don't know if you have read this book called Think and Grow Rich. This is the book that I have read 6 years back when I was like around 24 years of age and I was doing a very mediocre job. And I just recently found out that I created steps 6 years back stating what I want to achieve in the next 5 years of my life. And I just folded it and kept it inside. But when I look into it now, I can see that I was able to achieve 50% of whatever I have written in the list. And that is pretty surprising to me. Recently, I was again reading this book and I thought, like, why not make another plan or another list which will guide me in the next 5 years of my life. So I created one more list based upon the steps written in this book, and I have written down the desires that I want to achieve in the next 5 years of my life. But before I read through this, and let's go through the steps written in this book. It's the first chapter itself, so if you're interested you can read it, but if you just want to listen to the steps, then you can listen to this video. I will also add a PDF in the descriptions of all the steps, and you can write down your own stuff in that. It will be available free of cost in the description. So let's go on. Let's study the first step to think and grow rich according to the book, and let's try to create our own so-called plan for the next 5 years. The first thing that the book says is that you should have a desire for riches, and based upon that you have to create 6 steps which you should write it down specifically. So let's go at the first thing that the desire mentions. Obviously, if you want to grow rich, then you should have an amount of money that you want to achieve in your life. So for me, I have written down $1 million is what I want to achieve, or what I desire to achieve. So first thing is exact amount of money you want to achieve. The second thing is what you are willing to give to achieve those amount of money. So I have written down, if I want to achieve $1 million within the specified amount of time, what I will be doing is like creating content related to finance. I will try to invest and trade based upon my skill sets, which I'm already doing. I will just explore other options. And the third thing I will do is, as I'm a researcher, I will try to explore the research direction in the energy domain. So these are the 3 things that I have written that will help me to achieve the specified amount that I mentioned. The third thing is a specific date that you think you will achieve that. So for me, it's 5 years. So I have added exact birth date of me when I become 35 years of age. That is the next 5 years. The fourth thing is you have to create an exact plan to do all the above 3 things that I already mentioned. The plan should be detailed, and you have to write it down what exact steps you will be doing. To give you just example, the first thing that I mentioned is like I will try to explore the YouTube as a source of income, and in that plan I have written that I will at least try to post 1 or 2 videos long form on YouTube every week, and this I will do for the next 5 years. So that is one of my plan. Similarly, I have created separate plans for investment journey and my research journey. So you can create specific plans and try to achieve smaller goals as you move forward with the steps. The fifth thing is like you summarize all the 4 points and try to create a sentence which will be easy to read, and you can read it day in, day out. That's the 6th step, which is read that sentence that you created multiple times a day. 1 in the morning as you get up, and 2nd is once you go to bed. So these are the 6 steps that the book basically tells you in the first chapter itself to think and grow rich. But the rest of the books is covered with all the small stories that the author tells, how certain person become rich by following, not subconsciously but subconsciously following some steps which are written. And he tries to explore a lot of different ideas of a lot of historic figures who became successful in their career. And the rest of the book tried to explore or build upon the desire thing that I discussed in the first thing. So these are the desires that we wrote in the form of steps. Why is this important? To briefly cover what I wrote 5 years back is, when I read it, I see that 50% of my desire has came true. But if you ask me why I was not able to achieve 100% of this desires, I think it's because I was not able to execute it properly. My plans were all over the place. I have some limitations that I understand now, which was not present, and I have some knowledge which I have now, which was not present 6 years back. And interestingly, when I reread the book, it gave me a lot of ideas why I failed in the last 6 years. I was able to achieve 50%, but why not all 100%? I think the answer lies in the next half of the video, which I would like to cover. So once you have written down the desires, the second step is be faithful to your desire. The author suggests that if you're faithful to your desire, the possibility of you not following your desire is very less. So you should be faithful in your desire in such a way that anybody who tells you you're doing the wrong thing, but your faith is so strong that you will push forward towards your goal or towards your desire. So faith is second important thing other than desire. Third is create an auto-suggestion loop in your subconscious mind. So by repeating the fifth step, which is a statement that you have written to yourself, and the sixth is like trying to repeat it multiple times a day, what it creates is it builds on top, the desire builds on top of your faith, and then the faith is basically creates an auto-suggestion loop in your mind, and this loop should move from consciousness to subconsciousness. So basically what we are trying to achieve is a subconscious thinking loop that you will be able to achieve this. And I think I failed in the last 6 years because I was not too deep into it. I was just distracted on all over the place. That's why the sixth step is very important, to create an subconscious auto-suggestion loop in your mind so that you know that you will be able to achieve this desire subconsciously and don't have to think about it and just move forward with it, or move forward with the plan, whatever you have came up with, and never doubt it. So once you have achieved the two psychological aspects of faith and auto-suggestion, then you move to the real stuff, which is try to gather specialized knowledge rather than generalized knowledge. For example, now I'm trying to do the YouTube stuff. So what I am going deep into is trying to achieve specialized knowledge of how to create thumbnails, titles, how to find ideas. So I'm going too deep into a topic and I'm trying to follow the plan of creating a YouTube journey for myself and for the next 5 years. So you can create similar things and try to gather specialized knowledge which will help you to build your foundation and try to build your journey or journey to your desire more seamless. Generalized knowledge I feel is necessary in some aspects, but specialized knowledge is more greater than generalized knowledge, and that's what the book also suggests. Try to be good at one thing rather than be good at everything. The fifth point the author explores is the concept of imagination, and he says that why there are two types of imagination called synthetic imagination and creative imagination. So synthetic imagination is whatever we gather from the world around us. For example, right now I'm trying to copy a lot of other YouTubers, what works for them, what strategies are they using for their thumbnails, titles. So I'm trying to be synthetic in nature, where I try to be creative by accumulating a lot of stuff from what is already there in the market, which is like synthetic imagination. The second is, the author suggests that once you are done with synthetic imagination, something natural will happen to you, that you'll start being more creative rather than copying someone else. You will add your own flavor in making videos. For example, you will add your own creativity while you create a YouTube video, and that can be different for your things. So you can do for synthetic thing and then try to be creative in nature, which builds upon the foundation of synthetic imagination. After the fifth point, there is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th point, but I feel that you will be more into it if you read the book directly. It will be less impactful if I just say it to you, because it plays upon more psychological aspect of how you think about money rather than a guide or steps. Obviously, the first 5 things are good enough to move forward with your decision making, but the rest of the 5 or 6 points are more like psychological aspects which you have to study, and you have to basically absorb them while reading the book. That's why I will highly suggest you to go and dive deep into it. But I can briefly cover those. The sixth point the author mentioned is organized and structural planning, which we are already trying to do, and trying to find a community which thinks and wants to do the same thing that you are trying to achieve. That is the 6th and 7th thing. Then the 8th and 9th is like proper decision making, and you have to be persistent in following your steps at every point in life. And there are 10th and 11th point which you can just go and read the book, because this is more plays into psychological aspect of human nature. So in this YouTube journey, I will be doing a lot of book reading per week, and will be summarizing a lot of important points which I want to apply in my life, and obviously see the results in the longer journey. If you're interested, you can subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, you can like it. And the next book I will be reading is Atomic Habits. Let's see what these books have in it for us. Before closing off this video, I would like to highlight one very good quote from this book, which is, "A quitter never wins and a winner never quits. See you later."